India pull off a miracle at Manchester. Hello, this is Dipen Mashu from the Mashu podcast. And before we talk about the Manchester Test match, let's talk about the Indian women team. The Indian women's team won the T20 series in England 3-2, and they also won the ODI series 2-1 in England, which is a massive achievement. And things look good for India. We don't forget, we in the October-November month, I think it's October, November, yes, sometime during that time we have the ODI World Cup happening in India and Sri Lanka. So best of luck to the Indian women's team, and well done. Now, let's talk about the Manchester Test match. I'm pretty sure you must have heard a lot about it already on the various news channels and on the YouTube videos. So, what I want to discuss here is, obviously we all know that England put up a huge score of 669. They gave a lead. They took a lead of almost 310 runs. There was almost 900 deliveries left to be bowled in the Test match, and that kind of put England on top. Before we discuss the Indian batting in the second innings, I would like to discuss the Indian bowling. You have your third seamer. Don't forget it, the third seamer is a very important part of the team. Bowling only 18 overs, along with your fourth seamer plus all-rounder bowling only 11 overs, in the total of almost 160 overs that India bowled. Now that is something which is very puzzling. Do not that was so much stress on your frontline bowlers. Do not forget that you cannot treat Bumrah as a workhorse. He's a thoroughbred. You have to use him properly and judiciously. That we all know that the kind of bowling action that Bumrah has puts a lot of pressure on his back, and he has sustained a lot of back injuries. So, I mean, the kind of way you're using him, you're trying to basically throw him out of the Test arena, which we'll discuss that a bit later on. And if you you have a third seamer and you have no confidence in him, then you have your fourth seamer, you don't have confidence in him, then why bring in your spin bowlers so late? I think, as far as I remember, I think Sundar came in the 50th or the 60th over of the innings. Why hold him back, especially when he had bowled well at Lords, which is again very surprising. So now we have the Indian batting. Do not forget, in the first two Test matches, besides the one bad day that India had, India played very, very well. They almost pulled off a miracle at the Lords Test match also, and now India facing a massive deficit of 300 plus runs. They were on the field for 160 overs. The series is on the line, and then what happens is that we lose 2 wickets without a single run on the board. My wife, who says I'm stupidly optimistic about the Indian team, even a person like me, I switched off my television. I was so irritated that I switched off the television and said, well, that's the series, it's done and dusted. But yes, as I said, stupidly optimistic behavior that I have for the Indian cricket team. I switched on the television back after an hour, and we see Rahul and Shubman Gill putting up an amazing fight back. Don't forget about Gill. He had on the field for 160 overs, though he did not bowl, but being a captain, it takes a lot of mental stress. It mentally and physically drains you. You were kind of hoping that you'll be around, at least worst case scenario, 30 minutes in the dressing room, getting yourself ready to go out and play. That obviously, if India lost 2 wickets within the first 30 minutes, but now India lost 2 wickets in probably less than 5 minutes into the game, and suddenly you're out there back on the field. Uh, then to be so mentally strong, you are basically play out the new ball, and he, along with the gritty Rahul, put up an amazing fight back. We saw them face they played almost 400 deliveries of the 900 deliveries that were left in the game. Uh, and they scored almost 200 runs together to basically put India not in a safe position, but at least in a position where they could go to safety. Then comes Jadeja, and you have Washington Sundar. Two very very good all rounders. So in the first inning, we have the experienced Rahul along with the young captain. Here we have the experienced all rounder with the young all rounder. Okay, we're talking about Jadeja and Washington Sundar. They also played an amazing, a very gritty innings, both of them, and they also played out 400 deliveries. Then imagine, out of 900 deliveries, 800 deliveries are played out by these four batters, out of which two remained not out in the end, and took India to safety and pulled off I would say, one of the best draws in Test cricket. Right? This reminds us obviously of the Sydney Test match where we had Pujara putting his body on the line for India and pulling off the draw, which eventually led to us winning in Brisbane. Very similar to that. Now we come down to the incident of Ben Stokes. Yes, again, Ben Stokes captaining for almost 140 overs. Being very frustrated, he also bowled a lot despite his injuries. And suddenly he sees that India is pulling away to safety. And also what happened, before we discuss what actually Ben Stokes did, just a few overs before, I think it was Washington Sundar who hit a very powerful cover drive, which hit Ben Duckett on the forearm, and that was very painful for him. And suddenly Stokes realized that I don't want to put my best players, my team. They were physically drained out. We didn't want to risk any injuries going to in the fifth Test match. It was starting very soon. So looking at that, he thought that he should concede the draw and finish the game off. But he did it very cheeky and very smart in doing this. He was trying to basically take away the limelight away from the Indian, almost the marathon Indian batting effort to save the Test match. He tried to take away the limelight away from that, and this was something which is not done. I mean, you are not in the spirit of the game. You are so largely admired by your fighting spirit, and you have lost all credibility by doing this. If you really wanted to do this in a very smart way, you could have simply just taken away your frontline bowlers, gotten Harry Brook or whoever you wanted to bowl, without even announcing that you are kind of conceding that, okay, chalo, you know what, let's finish this game. But he was trying to tell these two players who batted for almost 400 deliveries that you don't deserve a centuries. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. You should be respecting the opposition. You have given a huge disrespect to the game of cricket, and that is something which is not done. Get on Harry without announcing. Get on your part-time bowlers. Let these two guys who have batted so well and deservedly, they deserved a centuries, got their centuries, and then basically shook hands, and that would have been the end of the story. And that would have been a better way of finishing off the incredible Test match. Now we come down to the final Test match. Obviously, India, as I said before, for them this draw was more actually a victory. To in a very in a sense, it was actually a victory for India. India on a bigger high, going into the fifth Test match, which starts very soon. I think the next two, I think, starts on Thursday itself, and a lot of injuries on both the sides. Rishabh Pant obviously is out. Dhruv Jurel will be in. Now, I think the Indians should take a gamble on this. Not a gamble, but they should be more aggressive on this team selection. I mean, looking at the performance of Sundar and Jadeja, if you have your top 6 or 7 batters doing very well, which includes the 2 bowling all-rounders who are also bowled very well, we're talking about obviously Jadeja and Sundar. So if we have we have Rahul and Jaiswal on the top, followed by Sudarshan. Then we have obviously Shubman Gill. Then you should straight away, I would say, follow it up with Jadeja and Washington Sundar and Dhruv Jurel. That makes your top 7 there itself. Now coming to the 4 bowlers, now we don't know whether Bumrah is going to be bowling or not. The other bowlers are very tired. Akash Deep, has he recovered from his injury or not? But if I was if I was the team selector, I would say, what, let's throw in Arshdeep Singh and Kuldeep Yadav. Always remember one thing: when in a long Test series, what happens is that a lot of batters get used to certain bowlers, and when suddenly you throw in a new player, you're not used to playing that person, you're not prepared to play that person, and suddenly you're dealt with a new challenge, and that can basically could be the downfall of you. We saw that in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, when in the Melbourne Test match, suddenly Sam Constance came in and he disrupted the whole bowling attack of the Indians. So we need some kind of with if you take Kuldeep Yadav and you have Arshdeep Singh and whichever the other 2 speed steamers would be, probably if Bumrah is not playing, then Akash Deep and Shiraz. Shiraz has played 4 Test matches, don't forget that. Then you have the backup, or not backup, you can say. Then you have the other 2 bowlers. We have Jadeja and we have Washington Sundar. Suddenly the bowling lineup looks quite potent. A bowling lineup that can take 20 wickets in the Test match. I think this would be the best way to go about it. What do you think would be the playing 11 for India? And for that matter, what will be the playing 11 for England? England, don't forget, also, will Ben Stokes play or not? They also have bowlers who have bowled in all the 4 Test matches. Will they go in for some new, fresh bowlers? Time will tell. So, especially for India and England, what do you think? What do you think would be the playing 11 for the 5th Test match? 5th Test match. On the line for England, don't forget, are leading the series 2-1. But if India can pull off a victory at in the 5th Test match, that will be a very though the trophy will be retained by England, even if they draw the series. Still, it will be a very morale boosting victory for the Indian team. So let's see what happens at the 5th Test match. We will talk about it very soon. Would love to hear your comments on what do you feel about this particular Test match, and what do you feel that will be the playing 11 for India and England in the next Test match. See you soon. Take care.